Dr. Jarve Miandad, you stand charged on indictment of manslaughter. The particulars of this offence being that on the 25th day of May 1976, you did perform an examination without using necessary skill and caution, and through criminal inattention allowed your patient to die. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
My lord, in presenting the case for the prosecution, I intend to show that the accused is guilty of recklessness motivated by greed. All doctors hold a position where a mistake can have grave consequences. An error of judgment is a matter for fear, but not caring. And inattention is an obscenity. Inattention brought about by greed is a criminal obscenity.
Should you?
What?
Be smoking.
I see nothing wrong.
Did you see her?
Who?
Mrs. Cheal.
There's a place for the public?
Poking her nose in, ears flapping like her bat strings. She's bought a hat specially for Carl.
Mr. George Lipton.
Dr. Javed Miandad works for a doctor's deputising service. Mr. and Mrs. Lipton claim that when he paid an evening call to their home, he refused to examine their daughter. 7 hours later, the girl was admitted to hospital but died before the surgeons were able to operate. Dr. Miandad now stands trial for manslaughter. Mr. Banham appears for the defence, Mr. Cross appears for the prosecution, Mr. Justice Robertson presides in the case of the Queen against Miandad. The jury in this trial has been selected from members of the public whose names appeared on the electoral register and who are eligible for jury service.
There you are.
That will do. I will not have a noise in this court.
I'm going to be waiting for you when we get
outside,
my friend.
I will not have obstruction of noise in this court. And do not bandy words with the counsel. I will not have it. Silence!
You didn't have him kill your daughter.
Silence! I will give you one warning and one warning only. From now on, I will deal very harshly with any outbursts that you make.
Yes.
Do you hear me?
I'm sorry, Your Honour.
Very well. You may take the oath.
Take the Bible in your right hand and read aloud the words on this card.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
You are George Lipton of 8 Paradise Street, East Fulchester?
Yeah, that's right.
And you are the father of the deceased girl, Beverly Lipton?
Yeah. And it's all his
Then
fault.
would you just answer the question?
She wasn't your daughter.
Should you make any further comment in this court or at the accused, I will hold you in contempt, and I will not allow you to give any further evidence in this case. Do you understand that?
Just answer my questions, Mr. Lipton. I want you to tell the court exactly what happened on the evening of May the 25th of this year.
It was just after 8 o'clock when our Beverly said she was going to bed.
How old is your daughter?
19.
It's rather early for her to go to bed, isn't it?
Well, she said she had a headache. And then an hour later she called down to her mother and said she had pains in her stomach.
Well, had the pain just come on?
That's why she called down.
Had she complained of this pain before?
Just said she felt hot and had a headache.
Did your wife go up to her?
Did, yeah.
Did you go up?
No, she came down 5 minutes later and said that Beverly was complaining of a pain. I thought it was a monthly, but Mother said that she had a bit of...
Yes, you're talking about cystitis. It's all right, Mr. Lipton. It's not an unmentionable disease. It's merely an inflammation of the urinary tract. How long had your daughter been suffering from this infection?
Mother said she'd been complaining just over a week or so.
Did she go to the doctor?
Not as far as I know.
Why not?
Suppose it had passed off.
What happened after your daughter had called down?
You mean the first time?
Yes.
Well, you just gave her a tablet.
I thought you said she hadn't been to see her doctor.
I mean, a couple of aspirins, and then she went to sleep.
How do you know that?
Because she didn't call down again for a bit.
What time was this?
9 o'clock.
Yes. Thank you, my lord. When did your daughter call down again?
Well, I don't know exactly.
What do you mean?
Well, the wife popped next door and I dropped off. Have to be up early in the morning, you see. I prepare the furnace for the morning shift.
What has this to do with your daughter?
Well, because my wife came in and she said, "Can't you hear our Beverly calling?" I'm not psychic, I said.
What time was this?
About 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Did your wife then go up to your daughter?
Not straight away.
Why not?
Oh, I thought it was a bit much. I can remember saying, it's like having a baby in the house. If only I'd known. So, the wife said a little later that she could hear Beverly calling out. So I went up the stairs, walked in the bedroom, and she was there lying on the bed, red-eyed and crying. So I said, oh, Beverly, what's the matter? And she just smiled. She said nothing. She said, oh, I'm all right, Dad. So I said, oh, no, I'm going to get the doctor. And she said, oh, no, Dad, you needn't, not at this time of night. And then her mother came in and said, no, it's no good, Beverly. We're going to get the doctor, whether you like it or not, and we're going to get him now. So I went down the stairs, round the corner. The phone had been ripped off the hook, so I had to go to the high street. As soon as I get through to Dr. Amos' number, there's a recording on. Said they were a deputising service, standing in for our doctor. I'll put the phone down.
Why did you do that?
Well, because I wanted our doctor. We wanted Dr. Amos. We don't want a stranger in the house when there's sickness.
So, you decided you didn't want to make use of the deputising service. What did you do next?
Got out my bike, went round to the doctor's house, pressed the bell, and this foreign girl answered.
What girl? What foreign girl?
The au pair, my lord.
Swedish, by the look of her hair. Couldn't speak English properly. Just gestured that the doctor was out and asked me if I was a private.
Private what?
Private patient, my lord.
I said I was.
Are you a private patient?
No, my lord, I lied.
Ah, yes, I see. Very well.
So, she gave me the number where he was, and I rang him up. He was at a golf club, at a party. I told him Beverly was ill.
And what did he say?
He didn't give a light. I could hear all his cronies laughing in the background. All he wanted to know was how I got his number. And when I told him, he got angry. Said that he was paying good money to the deputising service. So I told him. I said, if anything happens to Beverly...
Do you go around threatening everyone?
Although you were upset and obviously wanted him to see Beverly, he showed no interest at all.
I think you are dwelling too long on the general practitioner in this case.
My lord, it is the prosecution's contention that this case demands an exploration of Dr. Amos's attitude towards his patient, as a family doctor, that is. His responsibility towards them and so on.
It's not the GP who's on trial, it is deputising doctor. No blame lies with the GP.
No criminal blame, my lord.
That is the only blame this court recognises.
But it is also important that the quality of this particular deputising service should be established.
When did you get in touch with the deputising service?
As soon as Dr. Amos put the phone down.
What time would that be?
At 10:30.
And when did the doctor arrive?
Well, it took me about 5 minutes to get back on my bike, and he came 5 minutes after that.
I see. So the doctor arrived about 20 minutes to 11.
About that?
Did you go into the room with the doctor?
No.
Was your wife in the room?
Yeah.
And as far as you know, did your wife stay with the doctor all the time?
Yeah, she did.
And what time did the doctor leave?
About 11:15.
So you are saying that Dr. Meandad stayed 5 minutes with your daughter?
If that.
Very well, Mr. Cross.
Thank you, my lord. So, Dr. Meandad was in your house for less than 5 minutes. Was he in a rush?
My lord. Yes, this is not the time to lead, Mr. Cross, having arrived at the area concerned.
My lord, I will rephrase the question. How did Dr. Meandad enter your house?
Through the front door.
Did you say anything to him?
Well, I was a bit surprised, him being an Indian, but he was a doctor, wasn't he?
Go on, Mr. Lipton. What happened then?
Well, I told him that Beverly was ill and my wife came out on the landing. He sort of bounded up the stairs, and then a few minutes later he sort of dashed out of the house again. I turned to the wife. I said, is he on piecework or something?
No further questions, my lord.
No. You were adamant about your GP coming, weren't you, Mr. Lipton? Your wife had said, get Dr. Amos.
Yeah, she did.
Yes, because you don't want strangers poking about in your house.
You don't?
No. You swore at your GP, didn't you?
Because he wouldn't come.
You told him your daughter had stomach pains and a headache, didn't you?
I don't remember exactly.
Your daughter could have been suffering from constipation from what you told the doctor.
Well, I didn't know, did I?
Didn't know that your daughter was, in fact, pregnant and that a serious complication had set in.
No, I didn't.
But your wife knew it, yes?
Yes, she did.
Yes. Yet she didn't tell you?
No, because she thought that I'd start kicking up a fuss.
Oh. Is that why she risked the life of your daughter?
She never did that.
If you told the doctor that your daughter was pregnant, he might have come at once.
They don't care. They've got their private patients. They look after them. Don't worry. I know which end we're stuck with. If you're national health, you've got a third-class ticket.
If your wife really knew that Beverly was pregnant, then she gambled her life.
Don't say that. We loved her.
Huh? What sort of love?
I don't follow you.
Well, what sort of a relationship did your wife have with your daughter?
What sort of a question's that? She was a mother.
Yeah, all right. Beverly was 19,
Yeah.
right? She was shy, wasn't she? She was a shy girl.
Huh?
Didn't have many friends or anything.
She stayed in a lot.
And Beverly was frightened of her mother, wasn't she?
She never touched her.
I'm not saying she... I am saying, Mr. Lipton, that at 19, your daughter Beverly came to a point where she needed friendship, openness, and love. Huh? Instead, she found rigid disciplinarian authority. You would both judge her and find her wanting. That's why she didn't tell either of you.
What are you saying?
I'm suggesting that the only person who knew that Beverly Lipton was pregnant was Beverly Lipton herself.
My wife knew.
When did you find out?
At the hospital. And she told that black.
Yes.
And he just couldn't be bothered. Just gave her a sleeping tablet and let her die.
Did you hear that?
What?
Oh, sorry, I'll speak up. Did you hear your wife tell the doctor?
Oh, I was downstairs, wasn't I?
Oh. So you didn't hear your wife?
Well, I've not got long-distance hearing.
Yeah. Well, obviously. No. Oh, your wife, yeah, she wasn't very pleased, was she, when an Indian doctor arrived? Hmm?
Because we wanted Dr. Amos, our own doctor.
Dr. Amos. It was pretty much the last straw, wasn't it?
We didn't want a stranger.
No, a stranger poking about.
Not in our house.
Yes, and your wife didn't want anyone poking your daughter about.
No. What do you mean?
See, and I suggest, Mr. Lipton, that is why she refused to allow Dr. Meandad to examine your daughter.
We never did that.
You weren't in the room, Mr. Lipton.
I know that she never did it because she loves her.
Look, it was prejudice that killed Beverly. Prejudice. And there was no criminal neglect on the part of the accused.
That's not true. We never stopped him.
Yes.
Beverly told me straight away, as soon as she was late, 6 weeks ago.
She couldn't have been sure straight away.
No,
Did she have a pregnancy test?
no.
You,
But we were sure after a couple of weeks.
you didn't tell your husband?
No,
And you didn't take Beverly to see your GP?
no.
Were you going to go to him?
Yes.
Will you speak up just a little more, Mrs. Lipton?
I'm sorry.
When were you going to tell your GP?
In the right time.
And when would have been the right time?
When it was all sorted out between her and her fiancé.
One moment. Your daughter was going to marry the man concerned.
Beverly and me was keeping it to ourselves, you see. The man... The father, she said, was away and was due back in a couple of weeks, and they wanted to go to the doctor together.
But you didn't tell your husband about this?
Well, he's got a bit of a temper, you see, and I thought he might shout, so I didn't tell him. I wanted it all sorted out before he got told.
Now, thank you, my lord. I want to make it quite clear that you did know that your daughter was pregnant.
I did.
Because, you see, the defending counsel is going to suggest that you didn't know until you were informed by the surgeon at the hospital.
Well, of course I knew. That's why I got the doctor out that night, to make sure it was all right.
Now, just tell the court what happened after Dr. Meandad arrived at your home.
Well, he come in and felt her pulse, and then he asked how long she'd been like she was with the temperature. I told him for an hour or more. I told him she'd had a touch of cystitis a bit back, but she hadn't been to the doctor with it. And then I told him she was pregnant.
You used those words, Beverly is pregnant?
I remember saying, she's 10 weeks on.
And what did Dr. Meandad reply?
He took no notice. He just said she probably had an infection in her bladder and give her some tablets.
He did, in fact, prescribe ampicillin, an antibiotic.
To kill the infection, he said.
And then what happened?
He packed his bags and just vanished. He hadn't been there more than a couple of minutes.
Did the accused at any time suggest that he should examine Beverly?
No.
And if he had?
Well, I asked him to. I said, hadn't you better have a look at her? And he said there was no need. If she was the same in the morning, he said, give your own doctor a ring. I'm sorry.
Would you care to sit down, Mrs. Lipton?
It's bringing it all back, the memory.
Bring her a chair.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
So, if Dr. Meandad had wanted to examine Beverly, you wouldn't have objected?
I've said I asked him to. I mean, he might be an Indian, but he's still a doctor, isn't he?
Thank you, Mrs. Lipton.
Mrs. Lipton, this must have been a great ordeal for you. I have the greatest sympathy.
Thank you.
I also have a great deal of sympathy for the man in the dock who stands to lose everything if he's found guilty.
That's his fault.
Now, there are various aspects of this matter that you find embarrassing, aren't there?
How do you mean?
Well, for example, when my learned friend asked you what the doctor did when he arrived, you didn't mention, you failed to mention, that he'd carried out a urine test.
Oh, yes, he did that.
Yes, well, good. At least we've established right away that he didn't just rush in and out. Now, you claim that your daughter told you that she thought she was pregnant before she knew for certain.
Yes.
Yes. Now, when you did know for certain, did you consider abortion?
No. The man was coming in a couple of weeks and it was all going to be sorted out.
Ah, yes. And then your husband was going to be told.
Well, yes.
Yes. Now, you say your daughter was going to marry the father.
We are very religious.
Huh? What's that mean?
Well, it means you believe in God.
Oh, yes. But, you see, maybe you can help me. How does the fact that you're religious connect with your daughter? I can't see that.
Well, it means she wouldn't have done it, not without marriage.
Oh, that would have been terrible, would it?
Yes, it would. She wouldn't have dirtied herself.
Sorry, what?
She wouldn't have dirtied herself.
Dirtied herself?
Yes.
Yes. You see, Mrs. Lipton, I suggest that your daughter knew that you felt this way.
Well, of course she did.
And that's why she didn't tell you that she was pregnant.
She told me.
Mrs. Lipton, your daughter had no prospect of marriage, did she?
Don't you tell me my business. I know what I know.
What if? Think about this, Mrs. Lipton. What if your daughter had made love for the sheer pleasure of the act?
She wasn't like that. She had a sense of responsibility.
Mrs. Lipton, was your daughter's fiancé? Huh? Did you know who he is? Has he come forward at all? He hasn't? Look, your daughter was 19. She went out and had sexual intercourse because she wanted to. She didn't do it for love or babies. Now, did you ever discuss contraception with your daughter? Hmm? What?
I don't want him asking these questions. They're family business.
You didn't talk about these things with Beverly, did you? You didn't. Instead, you took a strict moral line with her.
We were just looking after
She
her.
didn't tell you she was pregnant, Mrs. Lipton. She kept it to herself.
She told me.
She knew that you'd think her dirty.
That's not true.
You didn't know until the surgeon told you at the hospital.
I'm not a liar.
My lord, the witness has stated time and time again that her daughter had informed her of her condition.
Yes, don't harass the witness, Mr. Banham, unless you have some further evidence to put forward.
My lord. Now, before the doctor arrived, how was your daughter lying?
She was lying on her back. I put a couple of pillows under her head.
Yes. Are you all right? Did she have her arms inside the blankets or outside the blankets?
She had them outside.
Well, even with her temperature?
What?
Well, she had the blankets over her, even though she was sweating profusely, Mrs. Lipton.
Well, I tried to take the blankets off her.
What do you mean you tried?
I don't understand.
Well, it's quite simple, Mrs. Lipton. I mean, you take a blanket off someone, don't you? You don't try to take it off.
Well, she kind of hung on to them with her hands clenched.
Sorry, hang? Why did she hang?
I don't know.
You see, I suggest that she didn't want you to see her body in case you saw that she was pregnant.
You couldn't see. She wasn't big enough to see.
Yes, I realise that, Mrs. Lipton. I realise she wasn't big enough, but you see, I'm talking about her mental state. She believed that it showed. That's why she was afraid that if you took the blankets down, you would see that she was pregnant, and she was frightened.
I knew. I knew she was pregnant, and I told him, and he took not a blind bit of notice.
Dr. Meandad asked to be allowed to examine Beverly, and you refused.
That's not true.
You refused because Dr. Meandad is an Indian, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Join us at the same time tomorrow when the case of the Queen against Meandad will be resumed in the Crown Court. Dr. Javed Meandad was working for a doctor's deputising service when he was called to the home of the Liptons to see their daughter, Beverly Lipton. As a result of that visit, Dr. Meandad is in court today facing the charge of manslaughter. The jury in this trial has been selected from members of the public whose names appeared on the electoral register and who are eligible for jury service. Mr. Murray, senior consultant gynaecologist at Fulchester, has been called to the witness box.
And you are also an obstetrician?
Correct.
A specialist in the management of childbirth?
Correct.
Beverly Lipton was 10 weeks pregnant, was she not?
Yes, about that.
But it was not a normal pregnancy, was it?
No, it was not. It was an ectopic pregnancy.
Will you tell the court what that means?
It is an abnormal anatomical situation.
Yes? Please go on.
You want a detailed explanation?
Mr. Murray, unless you go into this with somewhat more detail, none of us is going to know the medical condition of Beverly Lipton. I'm sure you will understand the importance of that point.
Perhaps it should have been read out. I have an operating list at 1:30.
I assure you that every effort will be made for you to leave in time for that list.
I have a car waiting.
Ectopic pregnancy.
Ectopic pregnancy occurs when the fertilized ovum, instead of passing down the fallopian tube and implanting itself in the lining of the uterus, settles in the tube itself, or elsewhere not relevant in this case. Now, a pregnancy such as this lasts, what, 2 months, 3 months at the outside, well, never more in my personal experience anyway. There have been cases reported, however, in which the infant has survived long enough in the cavity of the abdomen to be born alive, of course by caesarean section. In most cases, the embryo dies early and is absorbed.
But the latter part of that is not relevant to Beverly Lipton, is it?
Not at all. I was giving you an overall picture of the situation.
Well, that's an important point. Now, I'm just going to go back over the early part of your answer in order that I understand you clearly. Now, an ectopic pregnancy is a tubular pregnancy.
Correct. The fallopian tube in this young woman's case, the ovum had implanted itself there.
And what happened to make Beverly die?
Well, the fetus was growing in there, in the fallopian tube. She was 10 weeks pregnant. There comes a stress point with pressure on the walls of the tube. The fallopian tube could no longer contain it, the fetus, and the tube burst, causing an internal hemorrhage. It was necessary then for an immediate operation to repair the damage.
And in Beverly's case, this was too late?
She was admitted to hospital at 6:30 in the morning. She died on the operating table at 6:45. The operation necessary to save her life had only just begun.
If Beverly had been admitted to hospital 7 hours earlier, what then would the result have been?
Beverly would be alive today.
My lord, no surgeon can say with absolute certainty that a patient won't die whilst undergoing an operation.
All operations contain an element of risk, that is obvious. Being in this room is risky, the roof may fall down, but putting all that aside, I still say that had the young woman been admitted to hospital earlier, she would still be alive.
At this time, you did not know about Dr. Meandad's visit 7 hours previously?
Correct.
And when you had learnt of this visit?
Well, to put it mildly, I felt a certain degree of rage. I felt someone had done a pretty shoddy job.
Are you saying that a proper examination of Beverly would have revealed her condition, the ectopic pregnancy?
I am saying that a proper examination would have revealed an abnormal anatomical situation. I am saying that the girl would still be alive if she had been referred to hospital immediately.
When you were told that Beverly had received a visit from a doctor from the deputizing service, what was your reaction?
Well, cynical, I'm afraid. I remember saying as I was taking off my boots, not the hobnail variety, the antistatic operating type, I remember saying, well, it had to happen something like this sooner or later, just a matter of time.
Are you suggesting that the doctors employed by this deputizing service are not competent?
One wonders how many O-levels are required before they'll take you on their books.
My lord, that is a total distortion of the truth. Give me that, Conrad, will you? Yes, every doctor working for Fulchester Locums has been passed by a board comprising of general practitioners working in the area and representatives of other relative professional bodies. They assess all prospective deputies for their experience and suitability for employment. Thank you very much.
Yes, well, the GPs aren't going to be too fussy, are they, as long as they get their evenings and weekends off?
My lord, I submit that this witness has a deep prejudice against the principle of the deputizing service.
Yes, I think we have all gathered that. Thank you, Mr. Banham. Why do you feel so strongly about this, Mr. Murray?
Some of these doctors involved, well, I know this for a fact, because some of them work in my own hospital. Some of these doctors, they do 12 hours as a registrar, and then they go on and do a 12-hour shift as a deputy. Then on the following morning, while you're doing an operation, you notice one of them nodding off. It was only a matter of time before one of these doctors either dropped down dead from exhaustion or one of them made a fatal mistake.
Thank you, Mr. Murray.
Well, I think we can safely say that you're an opponent of the deputizing services which have sprung up all over the country.
Yes, you might.
Yes, in fact, you've sounded off about them on several occasions, haven't you, Doc?
I have written various articles.
Oh, yes. Are you aware that locums are used by about 90% of GPs practicing in this country?
Are they now?
Are you saying that 90% of GPs are wrong and that you were right?
There are deputizing services and deputizing services.
Oh, what's that mean?
Well, the ones sponsored by the British Medical Association have higher standards, but generally I think we'd be better off without them.
Yes, there are many consultants who feel the same way as you do, aren't there?
You tell me.
Yes, about the deputizing service. It's been suggested, you see, that this attitude is sour grapes.
Rubbish.
Because there isn't a similar service for you.
Now, these doctors who don't know their patients, these junior hospital doctors for the most part, now, they've been taught how to diagnose symptoms, but they haven't been taught how to diagnose people. Now, 80% of these Fulchester locums are like the accused, whatever his name is, overseas doctors. Now, they have no idea. They come from a different culture. They either overreact or underreact. They either admit every doubtful patient into hospital, which means the emergency service working flat out, bringing in people with pimples and constipation, or else they skimp the job and give us patients when they're dead and dying.
80% of the doctors in Fulchester should be on trial.
I am saying that family medicine is about care, personal and continuing care. And you cannot turn that responsibility over to a profit-motivated organisation using overseas doctors as cheap labour. These foreign doctors are the pit ponies of our time. Was that man even awake when he went to see Beverley? The deputising service is the ghetto of the immigrant doctor.
That is not true, Mr. Murray. I've got figures here.
80% of the Fulchester locums are overseas doctors.
Well, I have figures, and I can prove it to you if you'd just let me.
Mr. Banham, I realise you are attempting to establish the credentials of this service which has employed the accused. But I see no point in continuing this line of questioning further.
Yes, ma'am. When Dr. Meandad, the accused, Dr. Meandad, went round to see Beverley Lipton, she showed all the symptoms of a urinary tract infection, didn't she?
The family doctor would have known the family.
You're not answering the questions I put to
I
you.
am saying that family medicine cannot be reduced to the level of big business.
Answer the question I put to you, Mr. Murray.
A 19-year-old girl with stomach pains and sickness. Now, the first question any doctor would ask is, are you pregnant? If necessary, get the mother out of the room and ask the girl on her own. Now, Dr. Meandad,
yes.
He should have examined the girl. Her breasts would have told him she was pregnant, and an internal examination would have told him that there was something seriously wrong.
Yes, what if the mother refused permission for Beverley to be examined? Well, what if she said no?
It was up to him to assert his medical authority.
What if she said, no, you will not examine my daughter, you'll wait for the morning? What fault lies with Dr.
But that is what I am saying. If the family doctor had been in control of the situation, a thing like this would never have come up.
Yes, but you see, if this is true, the fault lies, in the first place, in ignorance, in racial prejudice. And in the wider context, it's not Dr. Meandad who's on trial here today, but deputising services in general. And do you see what I'm getting at?
No.
I'm beginning to think that there are many people who bear the responsibility for Beverley's death. But the least among them is, in fact, the accused.
Mr. Murray, if, and it is not a proven fact in this case, but if Dr. Meandad was not allowed to examine the girl, what action should he have taken?
He should have referred the girl to hospital immediately.
And by not doing so?
He was guilty of the most gross negligence.
Very well, Mr. Banham.
Yes, he should have referred her to hospital.
I said that.
Yes, I know you have. For a urinary tract infection.
For an ectopic pregnancy.
But as far as he was concerned, it was a urinary tract infection. Now, so you've already talked about the problems of overseas doctors getting used to the British temperament, haven't you?
The deterioration in the British health service is largely due to the indiscriminate use of foreign doctors.
Oh, yes?
It costs over £25,000 to train a British doctor. Costs half that to train an Indian doctor. Now, that's cheap labour that no other union would put up with.
Yes, you say foreign doctor, Mr. Murray, but it usually gets back to Indian doctor, doesn't it? Don't you like Indians?
I have no objection to them working in their own country.
Oh, I see. Now, I have here one of those articles you wrote for a medical journal last year. It reads, "The Indian doctor is used to stoicism in the most frightful conditions. At the first sign of emotion, as displayed by the British when their families are ill, the Indian doctor will send the patient into hospital immediately." That's what you said.
I know what I say.
Yes, I'm just reminding you.
And I may remind you that this court may be your place of work, but the operating theatre is mine.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I've only got one more point to make. Give me a minute, please.
You already had several minutes.
Yes, we've just wasted a full minute. In this
I would like a little lunch before I start a long afternoon session.
We would all like to get off before the long afternoon session.
My list will probably go on until at least 7 o'clock. When will your session finish? 4 o'clock?
I have extended this session so that you need not come this afternoon, but I can cancel that decision. Very well.
Well, If the laws to come under the same fire as the deputising service, I think it'll be clear that Mr. Murray, as well as being a consultant obstetrician and gynaecologist, is something of a critical all sorts.
Oh, get on with it, Mr. Banham.
Now, I have here a letter you wrote to the deputising service. I'd like to read the opening section, if I may, my lord. I am writing because of the unnecessary pressure Fulchester locums are placing on the emergency service at this hospital. Since your doctors don't know the patient's medical history, and since they are often inexperienced, they seem to prefer to play safe and, in many instances, call an ambulance. Yes, you say a lot of other things. And yes, you end up, I hope to see a substantial cut in the patients referred to the hospital. Yes, now you wrote that.
I did.
Yes, you did. I put this to you, Mr. Murray. Dr. Miandad went round to see Beverly. She'd been suffering with what her mother thought was cystitis. Dr. Miandad wanted to examine her. Beverly said she was feeling much better. He told the parents he should look at her. They said they didn't want him to. They were sorry they'd called him. They'd call their own doctor in the morning if she still had the pain. He then had to consider what to do. Now, it seemed the girl was suffering from a simple infection, but he should examine her. He decided to give her enough antibiotic to be going on with, and he wrote out a prescription. He then left a message with the deputising service, which would have been given to the GP in the morning. This message read that the GP should see Beverly. Now, if those are the circumstances, and in the light of this letter to the deputising service, a letter, incidentally, that was pinned up on their notice board, would you still claim that Dr. Miandad is guilty of gross negligence?
I still say he was guilty of an error of judgment.
Yes, but an error of judgment, Mr. Murray, is not a criminal matter, is it?
TV lawyers.
You are Dr. Javed Miandad, and you're registrar at Southwold Hospital, Fulchester.
Yes.
How long have you held that position, Doctor?
For the past 5 years.
Now, before we come to the charges against you, I'd like you to tell the court, if you would, a little about the training that you had to become a doctor.
I was trained in Delhi.
Can you have a little more detail, please?
At the All India Medical Institute.
Yes. Now,
Delhi.
to get in, you had to sit a pretty formidable entrance examination, didn't you?
No, there are only 45 seats awarded each year.
Yes, so, and it is in fact a place where all young Indians would have wanted to train, so those 45 would in fact be the cream of all India, wouldn't they?
You make it sound rather grand.
Yeah, but it's true.
Well, I'd say that most young Indians would have been pleased to train at the Institute. You see, the training was of highest quality and still is.
Well, just tell the court the form of training that you received.
After high school, I had a pre-medical year studying English, physics and chemistry.
Now, sorry, my lord, was this in the Indian or the English language?
No, all my training was in English.
In English.
All my textbooks were in English.
Yes, in English. And after your first year, what then?
18 months of preclinical subjects, 3 entirely clinical years, and 12 months compulsory internship.
And
Yes, I see.
how would this have compared with your English counterpart?
Slightly longer than a contemporary entering guys, Your Honor.
Slightly longer. What did you do then, Doctor?
Well, then I took a post with the provincial hospital from 65 to 69, and then I went to the rural areas as a sort of a GP.
Yes.
When I went the rounds, I saw people in their homes, and conditions were simply lousy. That is, if you cared. Only drug I was supplied with was a miserable palliative, and when I asked for something more realistic, I was told that the drugs were in short supply.
That is all very well, but it does not bear directly on this case.
No, it does at least show the deep convictions that the accused holds. Dr. Miandad is a humanitarian with the highest regard for human life.
How long have you been working here?
5 years, Your Honor. 3 years as a house officer, 2 years as a house officer and 3 years as a registrar.
And what were you doing in the Indian hospital?
I was a senior registrar.
Oh. You took a considerable drop in position by coming here.
Yes, but I only made senior registrar through corruption.
Corruption?
Yes, Your Honour, corruption.
What do you mean by corruption?
Well, you see, I got on quite well with the head consultant's daughter. In fact, I married her.
You are very disarmingly honest in this.
Well, it's the sort of thing taken for granted in India, Your Honour.
Now, how long have you been involved with the Fulchester locums?
I started doing occasional shifts about 3 years ago.
How occasional?
Perhaps 2 a week, 12 hours.
And you say that you each had a shift of 6 hours a week?
Yes.
Were you sometimes employed on a shift of 12 hours?
No.
Very well.
Yes, but recently you have been doing as many as 4 shifts, haven't you, Doctor?
Oh, yes, I've started deputizing on Saturdays and Sundays.
So you've got a considerable amount of experience in this field.
Well, I'm not inexperienced.
No. Now, will you tell the court exactly what happened from the moment you arrived at the Liptons' home on the 25th of May?
Yes. Well, I was in the radio car when I received a message that a girl was suffering from stomach pain and was thought to be running temperature. In fact, I was quite close, so the driver took me there.
The driver?
Yes, Your Honour, it saves a great deal of time if you do not know the area very well. When I went in, Beverly was in bed and she was running a temperature. Her mother, Mrs. Lipton, told me that Beverly had been in some pain passing water. I then asked Mrs. Lipton to leave the room, but she would not.
Now, why didn't you insist that she left?
Well, I insisted, but she was too upset that her own GP had not come. I then told Beverly that I'd like to examine her, but she shook her head and she said that she was feeling much better. She said that pain came and went and it had gone now. Then I told Mrs. Lipton that I'd like to test a sample of Beverly's urine.
Yes, and what was the result of this test?
I found albumin present.
Albumin? What's that?
Most abundant of proteins dissolved in blood. A principal factor in maintaining the osmic pressure of blood.
Yes, and this wasn't a positive result?
No, not necessarily conclusive in any way. You often find albumin present. It's often an ordinary discharge. Then I asked Beverly when was her period due, and she said that she had just had it.
Yes. Now, did it enter your head to ask the girl if she was pregnant?
Stomach pain, nausea? Oh, yes, that's the kind of question you always think of with a young girl. But you see, her mother was present, and I did say to Beverly that, are you quite sure you've had your period? And she said yes.
Yes. Now, Mrs. Lipton claims that she told you that her daughter was pregnant.
No, she did not.
Now, is there a chance that she might have told you, but you didn't hear?
There's no chance at all.
Now, you see, Mrs. Lipton claims that she'd said Beverly was 10 weeks on. Huh?
No, she didn't.
No. Were you in a hurry to leave, Doctor?
No.
But it's true, isn't it, that you were just in the house a short time?
Well, 10 minutes from getting out of the car to... Well, you see, Mrs. Lipton was most anxious for me to leave the house.
Yes. Now, did the deputizing service ever put any pressure on you to be quick on your calls?
No, if the call took an hour. I mean, one would never consent to work under such pressure.
Did you make it clear that you wanted to examine Beverly?
Yes, I did. But Mrs. Lipton said no. Then she added that her husband would not agree. And from the manner he had greeted me on my arrival, I had no doubt. So, you see, they wanted their own GP.
Mm.
Well, I told Mrs. Lipton that if Beverly's condition had not improved by the following morning, she should call her own GP.
Yes. Now, why didn't you refer Beverly to the hospital?
Well, I thought the young woman was suffering from urinary tract infection. I thought it was no emergency.
Yes. Now, you've rather played down, haven't you? Played down the reason why Mrs. Lipton wouldn't let you examine her daughter.
I think I explained enough.
Now, what were those reasons?
Mrs. Lipton was confused.
See, I'm beginning to think that you're trying to protect Mrs. Lipton.
Oh. I think I've explained enough.
All right. Now, you were with Beverly 6 minutes or so. Did you rush?
No, I did whatever I could.
Now, Mrs. Lipton says that you ran down the stairs. Did you do that?
It's very difficult to run downstairs.
Oh, yes, but did you try?
Well, I walked down the stairs briskly, but you see, there was no point in my staying in the house when I had done all I could.
Thank you, Doctor.
Well, Doctor, it's a pity you are not one of the more inexperienced doctors working for the service, because if you had been, you might have sent Beverly to hospital, and she would have been alive today.
Yes.
Yes. Now, Mrs. Lipton told you her daughter was pregnant, didn't she?
No.
Are you calling her a liar? Come on. Is she lying?
Yes.
Why?
Because Mrs. Lipton cannot face the fact that her daughter was too frightened to tell her.
I see. Now, Mrs. Lipton called you to her house and told you she thought there was something wrong with her daughter, did she not?
Yes.
And then she stopped you examining the girl? Does that make sense?
It does.
It does? How does it?
Because I'm an Indian.
Oh, come on, don't try that one.
When Mrs. Lipton asked me the nature of examination I wished to make, I explained to her that it would be first of abdominal and then internal. Mrs. Lipton then asked me what I meant by internal, and I explained to her that it will be vaginal exploration. Mrs. Lipton said, no, you... She said, no, you can't do that. You're an Indian.
Join us tomorrow at the same time when the case of the Queen against Miandad will be concluded in the Crown Court. Dr. Javed Miandad was working for a doctor's deputising service when he was called to the home of the Liptons to see their daughter. Mrs. Lipton claims that Dr. Miandad took only a cursory look at the girl, then rushed on to his next call. 7 hours later, Beverly Lipton died in hospital. Dr. Miandad has claimed that he was not allowed to examine the girl because of racial prejudice on the part of the mother. He's now charged with manslaughter through criminal neglect. The jury in this trial has been selected from members of the public whose names appeared on the electoral register and who are eligible for jury service. Today, Mr. Cross continues his examination of the accused.
You say you walked down the stairs briskly. Did you slam the front door in your hurry?
I slammed the front door because Mrs. Lipton had made me angry.
Because she'd asked you to examine her daughter?
No, because she would not let me examine her daughter simply because I'm an Indian. I was disgusted.
I put it to you that you never suggested an examination.
Oh, yes, I did.
Because an examination would have taken time.
Well, of course it would have taken time.
And that is why you refused to examine Beverly.
It's the wrong way round.
You had a lot to do, didn't you?
Yes, I had calls to make.
And you were too busy to examine Beverly or to listen to her mother tell you her daughter was pregnant.
I can only repeat that this is not the case.
You had 4 other calls lined up, didn't you?
Yes, I had 4 calls.
And you were rushing them through in case more came in and they all started piling up.
I was not rushing.
Weren't there 2 of you on call?
My colleague had gone off sick.
Doctor sick as well, eh?
Yes, flu.
Yes, a lot of it about. So you were doing the lot, doing the work of 2 deputies?
Yes.
Weren't there also 2 standby doctors on call?
Yes.
Did they get a call at all?
I don't understand.
Well, it's perfectly simple, Doctor. Did you manage that 6-hour shift on your own, or did you call in a standby doctor?
I managed on my own.
Wouldn't it have been better to have called in a standby doctor?
I managed.
Yes. You like hard work, don't you?
I don't mind.
There were 20 calls that night.
Yes.
At one time, there were 5 lined up.
Yes.
One of the patients at the end of that list had to wait an hour and a half. Is that correct?
It would have taken the standby doctor an hour.
Now, you've said that Fulchester Locums doesn't make any demands on you.
Oh, yes, the demands of treating patients with care and concern, yes.
But they don't tell you to rush, do they?
No, they wouldn't be in service for long if they did.
Yes, they're a bit more subtle than that, aren't they?
In what way?
Well, they're a business company. They use business tactics. They use blackmail.
I didn't know it was a business tactic.
I don't think it's too strong a word.
I don't know what you mean.
No, neither do I, Mr. Cross. Make yourself clear.
Well, my lord, in industry, men often work on piecework. The more they do, the more they get paid. If a man's doing the same job over and over again, this is an incentive for the worker. The more he does, the more he earns. You are following me, aren't you, Doctor?
Yes.
To bring a form of piecework into medicine is something only a business interest would think up, and that is what Fulchester Locums thought up, didn't they?
No doctor would risk a patient.
The temptation was put in front of you, and you grabbed it.
No, I did not.
And you have the gall to accuse Mrs. Lipton of racial prejudice and lying.
I'm afraid it is the truth.
How were you paid by the deputising service?
There was a fee.
You were in fact paid entirely by the number of
No,
calls
as
you
I
made,
said
weren't
before,
you? The
there
more
was a
calls
fee.
you made, the more you got paid.
Am I
Isn't that
allowed
correct?
time to answer?
No point in questioning the witness if you don't give him sufficient time to answer.
My lord, just tell the court how you got paid, will you?
There was a fee of £12. That was standard and set. You would get it if you were on duty and you made no calls at all. But for each call you made, you get £1.50. So if you made 4 calls, you'll still get £12. But if you made 9 calls, then you would lose the basic of £12 and you would be on call rate, which is £1.50. 9 calls would earn you 9 £1.50s, that is £13.50.
So, your 6-hour shift brought you in what? £30?
Yes.
That works out at £5 an hour. You're doing a 24-hour week. You're getting what, £120?
No, in fact, I was doing an average of £70 per week.
Well, how come you made so much on this one night?
The other doctor was off.
So, you decided to make a killing, literally.
There was no call for that. That was in bad taste. You understand me?
My lord. Well, you rushed around, didn't you? Because you were greedy. You wanted all the money you could lay your hands on, and the insidious methods of payment employed by this deputising service allowed you to do this.
I would have spent the whole night with Beverly if it could have saved her life.
Yes. Now, you've talked about your idealistic motives for coming to this country.
Yes, I came here to widen my experience of the world. Eventually, I do intend to go back to India. I want to work out in rural areas. I want to train people in education, health education. I want all the experience I can get.
I suggest you came here for the money.
I've already explained the state of the Indian medical profession in 1970 when I left.
How much were you earning when you left?
About 600 rupees a month.
Which is how much?
About £30 a month.
Less than £10 a week. Not exactly a princely sum, is it?
No.
You were probably getting more than £30 a week here, weren't you?
Yes.
Was money one of your reasons for coming?
It's played a part, yes.
What are you earning now?
About 5,000 a year.
As a hospital registrar, full-time?
Yes.
You're not a part-time registrar, are you?
No.
If I were to say to you, are you a hospital registrar or are you a deputising doctor, how would you answer?
That I'm a hospital registrar.
Because you're doing 24 hours a week?
Of course I
in
do.
the hospital?
Yes.
Well, say 60 hours.
Well, it varies.
Yes, well, yes, it would, especially in your line. What is your line?
I work in general surgery.
Yes, well, hospital registrars work in all sorts of different departments, don't they? Orthopedic, cardiac, psychiatric, dermatology. But, of course, they don't have so many emergencies as in general surgery, do they?
No.
So, my intuition tells me that you must be on call quite a lot.
Yes, again, it varies.
Well, give us an average.
2 nights a week.
You telling the court that you work weekends and 2 nights a week in the deputizing service and another 2 nights a week at the hospital?
Yes.
You are a workhorse, Dr. Meandad. Either you are stewed in greed or you are an exploited man. Did the deputizing service know about your duties at the hospital?
I told them. You have to fill in the forms, you know.
Did they try and cut down on the hours you worked for them?
There was never any reason for them to.
When did you sleep, Doctor? I mean, how can you go on living at this pace?
The hours of overtime as registrar at the hospital have been cut down since the new rates of pay were introduced. I felt that I could do both these jobs without undue strain. There was no time for hobbies, of course.
Are you really telling me that those running the deputizing service were fully aware of the hours you worked at the hospital?
Yes.
Well, one begins to wonder if Fulchester locums shouldn't be in the dock with you.
I'd like to point out that with both these jobs, I'm earning considerably less than a GP. He's paid about £9,000 a year, while I, with both these jobs, am making just over £7,000 a year.
Yes, well, our health service deserves better than a tired registrar. A tired machine is an inefficient machine. Now, you're married with 2 children, aren't you?
Yes.
Your elder brother in India, who is paying for him to go through medical school?
He has won several scholarships. I pay the rest.
And you have a younger brother attending private school.
Yes. He must have the best possible chances so that he can, too, train for medicine.
And you're also sending money home to your parents in India, too, aren't you?
I send them what I can.
Well, obviously, they can't afford to pay for your younger brother to go to private school. Who is paying those fees?
I do.
Yes, well, I'm not saying you're an evil man, Doctor. Indeed, you've taken on so many responsibilities, it staggers. What I am saying is that those responsibilities became too much for you, and that all you could do was think about earning more and more and more money.
MacKay, I do admit that I was under pressure to send money home to look after my family here, my 2 children. But I would never have had spent even one evening at the deputizing duty if I felt too tired. And the people will always matter to me more than the money. Maybe, yes, maybe I handled the situation badly. I let my instincts prevail. I should have been more in control of my emotion because I am trained and Mrs. Lipton is not. But for money, 30 shillings, 30 pieces of silver.
Yes.
How long have you been a GP, Dr. Amos?
25 years.
And how long have you been using the Fulchester locum service?
For the past 6 years.
Did you ever have any qualms about turning your practice over to the locum service?
No, none at all.
Did you know that 80% of the doctors in that service were in fact overseas doctors?
I didn't know the exact percentage.
Have you encountered any trouble or come across any complaints
No.
against the service?
Never.
And how would you describe the quality of their service, Doctor?
Well, better than I could offer.
How do you mean?
Well, as a young man, I could get a call in the middle of the night, and often I would be able to make the visit and be back in bed within the half hour and straight to sleep.
Yes.
Before I decided to subscribe to the deputy service, I found things were getting very difficult. One call and I could be awake the whole night, not able to get back to sleep as I was when I was a young man. I started to find that my day work was suffering. I was tired. I mean, Now that people no longer go to their ministers of religion, they come to us. A GP has to do a great deal of listening. But I was tired. And on the clinical side, I might have missed something. You see, the contract that we signed with the health service is to be on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Would any man here sign such a contract? No, I consider that asking the impossible of anyone.
How much do you use the Fulchester service?
All the time.
Every weekend?
Yes.
And every evening?
Yes.
What do you pay?
I pay a high premium, but nothing extra for calls.
How much do you pay a year?
£800.
And for that you get trouble-free nights?
Yes.
But sometimes you make evening calls.
Yes, sometimes.
And night calls.
Very occasionally.
You made 3 last week.
No, 1.
And the other 2?
Were before midnight.
Were you hooked up to your deputising service for them?
Yes, I was.
Now, who did you make these calls to?
You mean the names of the patients?
I mean they were part of your private practice, weren't they?
I have some private patients. I make no secret about that.
You don't mind making night calls for them?
Well, there aren't many of them.
Mr. Cross, is this line of questioning relevant to the charges against the accused?
If your lordship would allow me just a few more moments, the relevance will become clear.
Very well.
So you get up for your private patients, but not for your national health patients, eh?
Well, it doesn't happen very often.
The National Health pay you an allowance for these hours you've contracted out of, don't they?
Which I pay to the deputising service.
But the allowance is more than £800, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
So you make a profit.
Not very much.
And now you don't have your National Health responsibilities, you have a nice little private side to your practice.
I would remind you, Mr. Cross, that the doctor is not on charge. You need not answer that last question put to you.
Thank you, sir.
I just wanted to point out, my lord, that it was very much in Dr. Amos's interest not to inquire too deeply into this deputising service, as it was obviously of great use to him. Better not to know if the quality was bad.
As every doctor in Fulchester uses it, it's
Oh,
hardly...
but these deputies, they don't know anything. They don't know their patients. They don't know their medical records. They just go in, strangers in the night, often to people in stress, needing the comfort of a family doctor as well as his medicine.
I'm sorry, but you cannot expect any man to be on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are not supermen.
If it had been you who had gone down to the Liptons that night, would you have done any better than Dr. Meandad?
Well, I would have examined her, wouldn't I?
And you would have sent Beverley to hospital, wouldn't you?
Yes, that's right.
And will you go on using this deputy service?
Yes, I will.
Even after this?
Yes?
Are you condoning Dr. Meandad's treatment of Beverley?
I'm neither condoning nor condemning the man. I believe he did his very best in the circumstances. There was no reason for him to think this tragedy could happen. And he left a message for me to see the young woman the following day.
It has been said that hospital doctors are trained to diagnose symptoms, and that family doctors are trained to put the interests of the patient first. Isn't that why you should not have abnegated your responsibilities?
Again, I would remind you, Mr. Cross, that it is not the witness who is on charge. As the law stands, he has done nothing wrong.
Are you the managing director of Fulchester Locums?
Yes.
For how long?
It was bought by the independent owning company 4 years ago by Henna Investments. It remained much the same, staff and so on, except it was under different ownership.
Now, how long have you known the accused?
3 years. He's worked with us quite regularly.
Yes. Now, did he ever appear tired, washed out, incapable of doing a 6-hour stint?
I think he took a great deal of care of himself. He always appeared well turned out.
Have you ever had any complaints about his work?
None whatsoever.
Yes. The deputising service was bought by Henna Investments for £250,000, wasn't it?
Yes.
Big business.
By what standards?
Well, it's a lot of money.
Not in business terms, no.
You must have been sure of fair profits.
You don't see many Arabs moving in.
No. It's a lot of money to pay for the right to operate a deputy service.
When you buy into a commercial venture, I'll oversimplify this. But basically, you look at the assets, the property and the profits. You treble the profit figure and you have a rough buying price.
After you'd bought it, you said it remained the same.
After Henna Investments had bought it.
But it didn't.
How do you mean?
remain the same.
I don't follow.
Oh, come on. You canvassed the GPs not subscribing to your service, made them free offers.
Special rates for an introductory period.
And you persuaded another 100 GPs to subscribe to your service.
It was a very successful campaign.
Well done.
Thank you.
Congratulations. How many more deputy doctors did you take on?
We became more cost-effective and more efficient with our manpower.
Yes, in black and white, you didn't in fact take on any. You blackmailed the ones you had into doing more work.
We gave our doctors more incentive. You should use your words more carefully.
How many more patients were these doctors covering? How many thousand?
And if you would care to repeat the allegation of blackmail outside this court, my lawyers will be in touch.
Mr. Cross, I would ask you to use less emotionally charged expressions when questioning the witness. Once again, I must remind you that it is not the Fulchester locums who are on charge.
My lord, I feel duty-bound to adhere to my point, that it was the profit motive which was the overriding factor in this service, and that the accused was in the end caught in this net of avarice.
But are you suggesting that it is the Fulchester locums who put the patient at risk?
That their organisation was open to that possibility, my lord, and that they turned a blind eye to it.
This is ridiculous. Now, we are providing a much-needed service. The medical profession would not tolerate us otherwise.
You are in it for profit.
Is that so immoral?
And you are satisfied with the standard of doctors employed?
I'm a businessman, not a medical man. However, anyone applying to work for the service has to go up in front of a board made up of medical people.
Yes, you paid Dr. Meandad £1.50 for each call he made. You charge the subscribing doctor £4.50 for each night call, don't you?
Not necessarily, no. We do have an alternative scheme whereby doctors, like Dr. Amos, for instance, can pay a higher premium and there's no extra charge for calls at all.
Yes, but as far as Dr. Meandad was concerned, he was paid for each call he made, wasn't he? The more he rushed, the more money he earned.
There are various methods of payment. It has never been shown that giving a doctor more incentive affected the quality of his work.
Last year, you paid out £40,000 in fees to your deputising doctors, but you received £250,000 from the general practitioners subscribing to you.
That wasn't entirely profit. We do have buildings, cars, drivers, and a trained telephone staff.
And you employ 80% foreign doctors, don't you?
Yes, I'm not racist. Are you?
Because they're cheap labour.
They work in our hospitals.
Yes, because they're the only doctors willing to tolerate your conditions. Isn't that true?
By your own contention, the figure is 80%.
Have you had this Meandad trouble before? Patients not allowing doctors to examine them because of colour?
No, this is the first time.
And you've been operating there for 4 years?
I have the fullest confidence in Dr. Meandad's ability. He has always struck me as a man of great honour and integrity. I see no reason to disbelieve him when he says that he was not allowed to examine Beverly Lipton.
And I am suggesting that you are only saying that in order to protect yourself. For if Dr. Meandad is found guilty here today, there will be a great deal of inquiry into the working of your organisation, particularly your method of employing foreign doctors, mining through the night like pit ponies in order to swell the profits of henna investments. My lord, I submit that the jury has no other alternative but to find the accused guilty of manslaughter. They may also see him as a victim of exploitation, but that is no defence.
What you have to decide is this. Is Dr. Meandad telling the truth when he says that he was not allowed to examine the girl? And if he was not allowed, did he go away believing her to have a minor infection? If that is the case, then he is not guilty of manslaughter. He may have been guilty of an error of judgment, but that is not a criminal offence. But if he refused to examine the girl, as the mother says, if he hurried away, if he did not use that proper skill and caution, then he is guilty of manslaughter on the grounds of criminal inattention. Now you will all retire, elect your foreman, and deliver your verdict.
Members of the jury, will your foreman please stand? Just answer this question, yes or no. Have you reached a verdict upon which you are all agreed?
Yes.
Do you find the accused Yahweh Miandad guilty or not guilty of manslaughter?
Not guilty.
Is that the verdict of you all?
Yes.
You may release the prisoner. And I should like to take this opportunity of saying that he leaves this court without a stain on his character. I would also say, in view of the possible ill effects this public trial may have had on Dr. Miandad, that I consider him to be a very wronged man in view of the allegations made against him. He has conducted himself throughout this trial with great dignity and a reserve that must have been very difficult under the circumstances. I only hope that this trial may bring home the stupidity of irrational racialism.
The cases in Fulchester Crown Court are entirely fictitious, but the jury is comprised of members of the general public. You can join us again for another leading case in the Crown Court.